It's just a payment app.
Yeah.
And that automates the cash accounting function. The idea is to get the treasury to release it. Because in the end, you and I, everyone, we use money. And we want to be able to transact with one another without involving the lending industry. This is about enabling members of the public to transact. And it's also remedying an issue that the Treasury is ultimately responsible for creating. If you're the Treasury and you're supplying money to the economy, and then you turn around and you also charter lending companies, then all you're doing is guaranteeing that these chartered lending companies are going to acquire the cash which you're also supplying the economy with, because people need to store it somewhere and have access to it. Because we want to see the economy grow, and the only way you're going to get the economy to grow is if capital is constantly chasing the most attractive, verifiable rate of return. And you're not going to find it or locate it until you start making a system measurable. And that's what accounting is for. Accounting makes measured. It takes measurements. It's measuring business activity. So this is not to be required. This is an option. So for those, if you want to continue, using Bank of America, go ahead.
Okay.
But this is for those of us who say, that's not how finance works.
Yeah, right.
And I want to be able to see what's happening in my economy.
Right. But when you say that, like, I want to see what's happening in my economy, what is the transparency? Can other people see my transactions at that point?
No, you don't have to publish your performance. So people are transacting through an app that automates the cash accounting function. You're using it for your, apparel business.
Right.
People
like
are coming
they use a
in.
Square. I have a business. I use a Square.
Okay, so as you're transacting, your cash accounting with system accounting is automated for you. And so let's just say at the end of the month, you clock 20 grand in revenue and only 10 in expenses. Then you ought to be able to hit a button and publish the performance of your business whenever you want, and be able to raise capital because you're signaling to capital markets, hey, this is where the opportunity is. I'm the one that's producing that.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No, right now, for people to detect opportunity, they have to wait for the SEC to tell them that this is when they're going to be releasing their earnings, and the only channels you're going to receive it from are, Reuters or Bloomberg or anything like that. And you have to talk to plenty of lawyers and investment bankers and everyone else who gets you into the capital market. This just eliminates the need for all that. This just puts you into the capital market whenever you want, because you hit a button.
Yeah, but I don't want other people to know that my business is performing well, because then I'm going to have more competition in my market.
Well, as a citizen, I don't care.
I understand, but do you understand what I'm saying?
I know.
Like,
I understand, but I'm saying as a citizen, I don't care.
You don't care, right? Right. I understand.
I require competition so that I can benefit from it.
So that you can, because what does it do for you? Lowers prices, right? Yeah, okay. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
As a citizen.
Yeah.
But as a business owner,
I don't care. I don't care what you want as a business owner.
Right. So this is more for citizens.
I mean, I want you to succeed as a business, but I want you to do it honestly through competition.
Sure. Well, but what? But
hey,
I
don't care. You're gonna do it whether you like it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, dude, if you wanted to move money, some people wouldn't want the Treasury to know about the money that you're moving.
So the intent here.
Do you understand what I'm saying, though? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm saying that the intent here is to require as much accountability from the government as it requires of you.
Okay.
So if you have the Treasury using a payment app that automates the cash accounting function, and as a citizen you demand that your government reveal its performance,
right.
It's because they have that same demand of you, so that they can tax. So this is when you're dealing with matters of transparency, the concern
it needs to go both ways.
That's right.
That's right. But there isn't transparency now, right?
So this is the technology to do that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Okay, now that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna sign this petition.
Okay, great.
I like how this is your generation. You're gonna totally redo banking.
Well, we're gonna eliminate it. We're gonna eliminate it.
It's interesting. I don't want my information out there, but it was a pleasure talking to you, man.
Okay.
I'll check your website out though and see if I can get some more information about what you're trying to do.
I'll write it down for you.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
system is still a banking system. Bitch, fucking first thing. You gotta be master to vote, dude. That's just so